So please welcome to the stage the writer and director and producer of Reception, the Wedding Present musical, Matt Aston. Hello.
Hello there.
I'm a long way away from you there. We've got, like, you know, you brought a couple of actor musicians down with you, haven't you? So we're going to see how that, yeah, okay. So I've got some questions. So when did you first come up with the idea? Obviously, I met you about 6 years ago, but has the idea been formulating for a while, or was it a recent thing?
Relatively recent. I think it's been formulating for the last 15 years or so. Right. The first time I had the idea was when I saw you do a thing at Leeds Playhouse, West Yorkshire Playhouse as was, with the BBC Big Band, and the arrangements for Wedding Present songs were so different that it kind of gave me a little thought in my mind. I'd been directing for about 5 years at that point, and didn't think much of it. And then I saw Cinerama do Valentina at the O2 in Islington with the 16-piece orchestra. And I was with a writer friend of mine, Billy Ivory, and he doesn't drink, but I do. And I was saying to him, this is musical theatre, this could absolutely work. He goes, no, it won't, no, it will. And we had a big conversation about it at Euston Station before he went back up north, because I was living in London at the time. And that's when I started to kind of write a few notes and thinking about things. I started writing at that point as well. And then when I moved to York, our mutual friend Tony, his kids went to my kids' school, and we kept missing each other when I joined the school, or my kids joined the school. And I met him outside the O2 in Leeds. He was giving out Ukrainian flyers after one of your gigs. And I'd had a few again. And there
seems to be a bit of a theme developing here, if you don't mind me saying.
Yeah. I wish I had a few now, to be honest. But there you go.
That could be arranged, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then
in a pub.
He said, "Oh, you're Matt." I had this idea kind of bubbling away about a musical with the Wedding Present and Cinerama's stuff. And he said, "Oh, I'm seeing David next week. I'll have a chat and go from there." And that was when we first kind of swapped emails, I think, and we met at his house. And it was literally about 2 months before the pandemic started, I think, was when we had our first meeting at Tony's house. And then we got the funding, and then we went from there. So it's kind of been, bubbling for a while, but kind of in real terms, the last 5-6 years.
And how long did it take to actually write it? Because one of the questions I'm asked quite often is, a lot of people think it's about the wedding present. You know, it's about me. It's, it's a musical about you. And I say, well, no, it's not. It's a fictional story. But there are bits of me in it, aren't they? You know, there's some of the characters like go and live in America for a year, and it's based in Leeds, isn't it? In the 80s.
It's set in Leeds at University of Leeds, and it starts off at a graduation party at Leeds University in 1985. And then, as you mentioned, there's a character who goes off to Seattle for a while, and all the character names are kind of names from songs as well. So there's Jane, and there's a Sally, and there's a John, and a Harry, and Rachel, Estrella. There's only one character who isn't one of your songs.
Is there a David in there?
Is there a David in one of your songs?
Well, no, but I'm just... I thought you could have given me a little cameo.
Yeah, you're in there a bit, but I won't mention where.
Oh, right. Okay.
No, there's one character called Emma who there was a crowdfunding prize where you could have a character named after someone, so that happened there. But in terms of writing, I mean, since when we first met, I mean, I even did some writing this morning, because I mean, we've been rehearsing for 3 weeks.
I thought you'd finished it.
Yeah.
What you do?
Yeah.
You're under false pretenses.
No, it's about kind of cutting it down now, because you know, when the first draft, I think, was about 89 songs and ran for about 9 hours, so we had to kind of bring it down a bit, you know. And at the start of rehearsals, I think about 29 songs. We've had to lose 2 or 3 songs in the last few weeks to kind of make it work kind of theatrically, because all the songs, as I said to you many times, is that the words and the songs will work, in my opinion. It's just about now making it work theatrically to make sure that the story, it was a story that I'd kind of had in my mind for, as well as an idea about a group of friends and keeping in touch over a number of years. was a film called The Big Chill in the 1980s that I really liked, and it was about this group of friends who met up 20 years after they graduated at one of their friends' funeral. And I had it on VHS at university, and I used to like get back at late at night. And I always put it on. It was one of those films that I really, really liked. So that kind of was in my head. And then, of course, with the first record label being Reception, that kind of made sense. So this kind of story is this group of friends over 5 or 6 receptions over a 5-year period. So there's graduation ceremony, a stag/hen do in Brighton, a few.
There you go. You see.
There you go. You see. Well, there's one scene, the sten do. It's the sten do because it's a joint stag and hen. Is set in this.
Is that a real thing, or you made that up?
Well, I thought I'd made it up, and then someone pointed out in the first day rehearsals, "Oh yeah, we've heard of a sten do," but so I thought it was really original. But as with the rest of this play, it's not. Yeah, so when you used to have, here a few years back, the stage was in the bar, wasn't it, in the olden days?
Yeah.
Well, that was the kind of the idea and the setting for the sten do in there. There was like in my head, and that's kind of how it'll be staged as well.
Yeah.
So there's a sten do, a funeral, a wake, and of course a wedding reception. Yeah,
Yeah.
And in terms of writing, you never kind of stop.
No, it's the
with a new
same for
thing.
me, obviously. I'm always thinking of songs, when we perform, I think,
Do that
and
one.
we actually, do play them differently sometimes because you just think, it's too long, there's too many choruses and things like that.
Well, that's what's happened to these last 3 weeks, is that obviously about half the songs will sound like The Wedding Present or Cinerama, but we've also had to kind of either cut or elongate kind of instrumental sections because dialogue happens in the middle of the songs, again, to help the story. Because what I didn't want it to be was just another jukebox musical where, story, 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 play a song, story, 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 play a song, because that's not very interesting. You want to kind of use the lyrics to make the story move forward, and that's what hopefully we're doing.
And so all the actors are also musicians, aren't they? So all the roles are interchanged, and they're all singers, or they play, and it's a real band, isn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, I've done actor-musician shows before, and that's when I started writing this, I knew that's what I wanted to do. And the way that it works is that the musicians are on stage. I mean, it's kind of stage left, stage right, but at times they will come out into the main performance area as well. And they all kind of interchange. Yeah. So, for example, there's a scene in the funeral between 3 or 4 actors. The rest of the actors are playing the instruments for that song, and then vice versa. So when writing it, you had to think about like the jigsaw puzzle of making sure there wasn't 10 actors on stage and no one to play the instruments. So because that'd be a bit dull then. Yeah. Yeah.
So did the songs come first, or did the story come first, and then you kind of fit the songs into it?
Bit of both, really. I mean, when I first started thinking seriously about it, I was making lists of songs that lyrically might work from a story point of view, knowing that we were going to have different receptions and the different relationships. Because there's 2 or 3 couples, and it doesn't really end well for any of them, to be honest. So
Can I just say, not all my lyrics are about unhappy endings.
just the ones I've chosen. So.
Also, can I say why?
Actually, one of them does end well. Sorry, I got that wrong.
You got television over there. Should we be watching something on that, or is that just?
Oh, it should be starting. Yeah, we should have pressed play. Yeah.
Carl.
There's slides of
That was great.
rehearsal shots and stuff.
See Carl on the internet.
And there's a few of you on there from when we did some photographs at Leeds Uni the other month. There's one couple that actually turns out okay, kind of. But I think the lyrics, go back to that question about lyrics and story. It's about then making it work. I've had to change a couple of lyrics, like
I'm not sure I agree with that.
Well, we have to the I and he and you and she and stuff.
Oh, right,
Didn't make that
course,
kind of And we have changed one town name just to make it work because an incident happened in Brighton and not Manchester town. So we had to.
Okay.
So
Controversial with this audience, obviously. So you wrote the thing. What was the next step? I guess finding a venue.
yeah, so I mean, it's really, really hard to get a new project off the ground, especially a new musical. And, this idea was first formed as all theatres were about to close down for 18 months, but we didn't know that at the time. And so we did an original crowdfunder to help that first bit of development of the show. And we had interest from a variety of venues, but of course, because of the pandemic, we couldn't move forward with it. And rather than taking 2 or 3 years to get off the ground, it's taken 5 years. So fortuitously, it kind of fell into the 40th anniversary of the band.
Yeah.
And we spoke to Leeds Playhouse, we spoke to City Varieties in Leeds, and then we Slung Low, who are this theatre company in Leeds. They're known for their immersive theatre, where they take over city centres, town centres, and do massive, big kind of immersive shows. But they got a warehouse in Holbeck, this big old warehouse, and they've converted into a...
Holbeck is a...
Part of Leeds.
Part of Leeds.
Yeah, just outside the city centre.
I mean, I know, I'm just explaining.
Yeah,
the people.
Holbeck in Leeds. And it's called the warehouse, and it is a warehouse. And what we were doing is just converting it into kind of a wedding venue. So there'll be a stage area, obviously, and then in front of the stage there'll be about 8 round tables, which are called the wedding guest tables, then some flat seating, and then some raised seating. And some of the action does take place in and around the tables and all that kind of stuff. So we are having to kind of build the venue, as it were, because normally it's just a straight theatre, so we're having to kind of change it. But it's really exciting. But it is a warehouse, with all that goes with that. So we're kind of having to patch things up and all that kind of malarkey.
Very modern.
Very modern, very industrial, keeping it real, something.
And then what was the next step? So you had the script, you had the venue.
Yeah. So well, as I mentioned, we did like a reading of it, and I've said this to you many times. We the first or second draft of it, we got 10 actors, and we did a day or so of development on it, and we had a reading of it. And the general consensus was that Act 1 was really, really good, like really good, and that Act 2 was shit. So Well, you sent it to me, and I didn't quite use those words. No, but but you were really kind at first. You went, I really enjoyed it. And then when I gave you the "it's shit" story, you wasn't sure about Act 2.
Yeah.
Because there was a helicopter, and it's terrible. But now, funnily enough, I think Act 2 works better now. So I rewrote it, and people who I trust in the world of theatre have read it and come back to me. And as a story, it unpacks. And these 3 weeks of rehearsals.
Really good,
the songs, because you never know the new play, whether it's going to work. And we still don't know whether it'll work completely with an audience, but what we've seen in rehearsals, having done the auditions and getting a creative team together to design the set and the costumes, and then we did a bunch of auditions and got a fantastic cast of 10 acting musicians. We've then started the process of rehearsals. Now, as I say, it's taking
I thought there was more than 10.
There's 10 actors and there's 5 community ensemble members. So we've got 5 dancers who work with the 10 who are working with 10 actors. They're volunteers, and I mean, the 5 dancers are just fantastic. They're like young, early career dancers, and their energy in the room is amazing. They're doing it for nothing, they're just doing it for the love of it. And we're trying to get as much money as possible to help to fund their expenses. And there's some posters around to encourage people to make some donations towards it, because without them, we'd still have a show, but it wouldn't be as exciting or as vibrant as I think it's going to be.
I must admit, because obviously I came up a couple of weeks ago just to attend the first rehearsal, I was taken aback how many people are actually involved, because I suppose I didn't think about it, because, when you're in a band, you've got musicians, you've got a sound engineer, you've got Carl, but you've got, your costume and, choreography, and there's loads of different things going on, isn't there? And I suppose coordinating 15 people. I mean, I found it with Cinerama, having 6 people rather than 4. It's not just an extra 50% harder. It's a lot harder because, it kind of expands exponentially. Sorry, I'm getting a bit mathematical.
Yeah, I mean, the last few shows I've done have been 2- and 3-handers, and going from that to 10 and then 5 dancers as well is
it's big.
It's huge, and being the writer and the director, and there might well be control issues there, and there are. I'm a complete control freak, but I'm aware to let things go, because
welcome to my life.
I've had this idea and vision and what it wants to be, and it's the last 3 or 4 weeks with the actors who've been brilliant, with the MD and the movement director. kind of making, and the associate director, who's also a dramaturg, helping with the script, how it develops, kind of making kind of quite tough decisions to get rid of like some dialogue, to get rid of one or two songs, to get rid of kind of parts of songs, just to make it work. And it's kind of really hard to go, oh, that was always going to be there. And like, it's really hard, but you have to trust them as well.
I mean, there's a lot of parallels, because it's the same with the set list. You know, I always want to, you know, put certain songs in, and then we rehearse it, and I time the set, and you know, like you, and something. This is about 2.5 hours long. You know, we can't do all these.
Yeah.
Well, people always say that, but I think there's there's natural length, isn't there, for all things. You know, film. You don't want to see a film that's 4 hours long. It just gets a bit boring. I think, you know, even my favourite bands, you know, after an hour or so, I'm kind of thinking, yeah.
Well, I think that's exactly it, because I mean, a 2.5 hour show is fine if that's the right length for it. But sometimes a show that's an hour long can be too long if you're just padding and making it longer than it should be. So
well, you don't get that in The Wedding Present, so a little bit different. But I can see your analogy.
But I think that, and that's one of the things that happened, is that what we found at the moment is that Act 1 is running a bit too long at the moment. Act 2, I think, is really tight. So we're just finding ways to bring Act 1 down a bit now. But yeah.
Okay. So it opens quite soon now, actually, doesn't it?
2 weeks, which is absolutely terrifying. Yeah. So we've got another week of rehearsals.
Oh, is it selling? Is it selling all right?
It's selling all
don't
right.
You want to tell us?
Tickets are available, and there are some special discount rates at the moment for anyone who's here this weekend.
Special at the edge of the sea bonus.
No.
What a tight get.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, it's
just
selling.
Ignoring you, isn't he?
Yeah. No, it is selling. I mean, and it has to really to work. You know, that's the nature
What
of
has
it.
to?
Sorry.
What has to?
Selling tickets.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously, yeah.
Make it work, you know, yeah.
We're nobody there.
You should know.
I do know, yeah. I've been in that position.
So all the things around it, like sponsorship and the fundraising for the community ensemble and selling tickets, and we just have to keep going. It's tight. It's hard to make this work. But from an artistic, creative point of view, you know, I know it's going to work. Now, not everyone will like it. But if you're a Wedding Present fan and you want to take a punt on it, you'll get something from it, because there's definitely songs in there that you'll go, well, that sounds like The Wedding Present. And also the different, as you'll hear in a bit, we've done things slightly differently at times to help the story. And I think that will both work for Wedding Present fans, but non-Wedding Present fans who'll come to it as a brand new musical, might never have heard your music before, and hopefully they'll go away and then buy all your albums again to get, you know, to...
Well, the thing is, I think, you know, Wedding Present fans are open-minded. It sounds like I'm blowing my own trumpet, but you know, I've done this festival for 15 times now, and I don't pick usually like indie bands, you know, like The Wedding Present. I always try and pick something a bit challenging and a bit enigmatic, and people always come to me afterwards and say, "Oh, it's a really good day," you know, because it's varied and a bit. And even in the band itself, you know, we've done so many weird projects, starting from the Ukrainian stuff onwards, you know, through the years, the 12 singles twice and Cinerama, and then, so I think it's good to go off at a tangent anyway, you know, in what I do, and even though I'm not totally involved with this, it feels like it is, you know, like part of the Wedding Present world, you know, just going off in a different direction.
Completely, and I've been to this festival 7 or 8 times over the years, and you said that exact thing about, I think it's just before the pandemic, about how allowing kind of different is when bands started doing cover versions for, you know, like of one of your songs. And I remember the year it was Amelia Coburn did an acoustic cover of My Favourite Dress, like on the ukulele. Yeah. And it was beautiful. And that actually that made me think, well, that version or similar is what I'd use in the musical. And that idea of Wedding Present fans kind of embracing difference and experiments and different things, I think is one to be celebrated generally, and hopefully they'll get something from the show.
I think I've gone through all my questions. Did you want to see if anybody in the room had a question for you?
Matt, I've got a
Oh, there you go.
So, 2-week run, right?
It's a 2-week run.
So David makes an album, it's got a life forever. 2 weeks for a music. What happens then?
I might have to repeat the question for the people.
Yeah, so the question was, it's a lot of work. That is theatre, unfortunately, in terms of
So the question was basically, it's a lot of work and it's there for 2 weeks and then it's gone forever.
Yeah, so the idea is to give it a further life. So we've got producers coming to see it. We've got first option to revive it next year. We've already had some interest from some venues. There's one in Manchester, one in Bristol, to if it was to tour. But theatre's a real grind money-wise. Away from the kind of commercial world of the West End, it's really hard work to get stuff off the ground, and to get this far with a new musical based on what I know a song's going to work brilliantly. It's just really hard, and the pandemic really screwed us. So yes, it is a lot of work, but the idea is that this is the starting point, not the end, and we really want to. If we can get the right people there and enough support to show that it works both artistically but also financially, if a producer comes and sees it packed out every night for 2.5 weeks, they're more likely to then kind of want to take it forward in the future. So I don't see this as the end of this in Leeds, but also the difficulty to take it on tour and the cost to take it on tour at this stage without knowing whether it would work would have been a mistake. But I absolutely wanted to go further, yeah.
Will there be a cast recording? I'm just repeating the question because...
No, it's good. Yeah. I like it.
Okay.
Anyway,
I've been down this road before.
It's
not my first trip to the rodeo, as the Americans say.
You can't, well, possibly. I mean, there are discussions going on for things to go alongside the theatre show, which I'm not sure I can mention now, but...
I'm not sure either.
No. No.
I don't know.
No. Okay, no. I'm not going to say it. Well done. So, watch this space, potentially.
What was that? I can't hear him, sorry. Am I going to guess? I've not been invited, actually.
You've been invited to see it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think that's what he means.
You're more than welcome. Tickets are on sale. We'll do your special rate.
Very kind, thank you. Yeah.
It's all about the income.
Income and alcohol, apparently.
We've got T-shirts. You can get one of them.
Right.
20 quid. The first time we met, you did ask if you wanted me to be. You wanted me. No. Did I want you to be in it?
Yeah.
I remember.
Well, I was just worried because, like I say, I know nothing about it, and I was thinking, is it really me? But
in terms of ideas, there was a world at one point of having, like, a long time ago, the idea of having the kind of band in the background as part of the band.
Right.
But I never thought that was going to work, and that thing of it being an original story and not about the band, I think it's good to have that kind of separation almost. And it definitely works. I mean, as I say, the talent, they're amazing, the actors.
Well, talking of which, I believe you brought a few of them down with you.
We have got...
So did you want to bring them on stage?
Richard Lowndes, who's playing John, Hannah Nuttall, who's playing Jane, and Zach Burns, who's playing Joe.
Hiya.
So, just to be clear, that's Hannah.
Hi.
And that's Zach, and this is Richard. So, shall I introduce the first song?
Yeah.
It's up to you, Matt, now. I'm handing over to you.
Yeah. I'll go to the bar. Apparently that's what I do. Just to give a bit of context to each of these songs, they're slightly out of chronological order in the show, just because I think that the third song is the better one to finish on. As I mentioned, in the musical, a lot of the songs are the same arrangements as Cinerama or Wedding Present songs. This first one is, however, it is played as a full band in the show, but we've only got a pianist here this afternoon. She's Richard. We were meant to get a music stand, weren't we? And I forgot. That's one thing we forgot. Could we turn that off?
Yeah.
Because that's going to blow over. Sorry. Is there a music stand? Should we get a music stand?
Is there a music stand back there? I don't think there is, actually. This is why I said bring one, Matt.
I got an email yesterday saying you don't need to bring one. There's one here.
From whom?
Someone had emailed my stage manager, and she told me.
Well, one of my people have emailed your people, have they?
Yeah. And we're left with, yeah.
You don't want to go to the monkey, you want to come to the organ grinder.
Yeah, that's what I say. And they don't listen to me either.
Well, I know what to suggest, really. Oh, no.
No.
That's all right, we can work with that.
Yeah, well, I think you'll have to.
Fan's gone. Well, this will be fun. Good luck. Right then, so some context. Hard, Fast and Beautiful is a Cinerama song, as you'll all know, and this is a piano version. This is when Joe and Jane, things are going kind of okay for them. So we'll take it away. Thank you.
And guess what I found? It's a letter that I started writing when you walked out. It says that I won't miss you because I've met someone who's more exciting, but that wasn't true.
So how did I lose you? The last thing you ever wanted to do was to hurt me, but I'd still accuse you.
And I couldn't know I'd never feel the same way with another, so I let you go.
Yeah, I've got a girlfriend. She's beautiful, considerate, and yes, I do love her. But I'm not going to pretend that she's ever gonna be the one, because now I know that it was you all the time. How could I ever think it wasn't true? Now I've stopped trying to tell myself that I've grown out of being in love with you.
And deep in the night, I lie awake and think about you. I know it's not right, but what can I do? I can't sleep in this bed without you. If you only knew.
Yeah, I've got a girlfriend. She's beautiful, considerate, and yes, I do love her. But I'm not going to pretend that she's ever gonna be the one, because now I know that
So there you go.
Slightly surreal, but very impressive, yeah.
But there you go.
Brilliant.
Didn't need a music stand, it was fine.
No, yeah.
So this one is called Perfect Blue, and this is we'll just play the first half of this one, because what happens is it's just piano for the singing stuff, and then the wedding present version then takes over for the rest of the song, where there's a big number and dialogue and angry tango and all that stuff. So we'll go with Perfect Blue. Oh, so I should give the context. This is sung at the wedding just before the first dance, as it were. John sings it at his bride-to-be. The bride, she's not here today, so Hannah's going to do the backing vocals to fill in for Rachel. So there we go.
And when I turn around to glance at you, you're staring. Your eyes are such a perfect blue that I can't look away. Did I get shy? Maybe I didn't make it clear. Darling, I think I always want you near. 'Cause when I'm away from you, it's like something's missing. That sounds trippy, but I swear it's true. That I just appeared, and no, it wasn't rehearsed. There really was no warning. And you're the first thing in my head each morning. The more I have, the more I want you, the more you smile, the more I know that I'll never make you sad. But I should warn you that I just might never let you out of my sight. I'm not sure just what I did to deserve you. I'm not complaining, God forbid. I just don't understand. Tell me, why haven't you had enough of me? Darling, why have I managed to make you love me? The more I have, the more I want you, the more you smile, the more I know that I'll never make you sad. But I should warn you that I just might never let you out of my sight. Interesting.
That's not a bad song, is it? No, it's weird to hear these, songs being sung by proper singers as well. Slightly disconcerting.
So the last one, this takes place at the wake, in fact, and
So ending on a high, I guess.
yeah. So and three of the receptions in the show all take place at the Royal.
Have you copied 4 weddings and a funeral?
So these 3 receptions happen in this Royal Park Hotel, which is one of the places you did very early gigs in the mid-'80s. And in the first half, it's the graduation party, and everything's great. And we have this kind of 3 songs in the top. We have Done Dare, Dance Girl Dance, and Brass Neck that are all upbeat and done in a wedding present, exactly wedding present style. And then this isn't in the wedding present style, so I won't say what it is, but this is when, as I mentioned earlier, things were going okay for Joe and Jane. This is when maybe things aren't going so well, and we'll finish with this.
Sometimes these words just don't have to be said. I know how you must feel. The heart can rule the head. Jealousy is an essential part of love. The hurting here below and the emptiness above.
There's always something left behind. There's always something left behind. Never mind. Oh, never mind.
The tender caresses that brings out the man. I can't still be drunk at 5. Oh, I guess I surely can.
Slowly your beauty is eaten away by the sense of someone else in the blanket where we lay.
There's always something left behind. There's always something left behind. Maybe next time.
Uneaten meals, a lonely star, a welcome ride in a neighbour's car, a long walk home in the pouring rain. I fell asleep when you never came, a rare delight in Brighton town. It took 6 hours before you let me down, to see it all in a drunken kiss, a stranger's hand on my favourite dress. That was my favourite dress, you know.
That was my favorite dress. There's always something left behind. There's always something.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Tickets available. weddingpresentmusical.com. See you in Leeds.
Great. Well, thank you very much for bringing it all down, and it's been really interesting to see that. I'm
Yeah.
sure everyone enjoyed it. Thank you, Matt Aston.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.